Okay, so here's our first dilemma. So I have the tank shoved up underneath. Let me peek over the top. There she is, gas tank. This is exactly where it's supposed to sit. It's exactly supposed to sit here. So the back looks fine. Here's the front. Now if you make it this way, looks like I got maybe 3 inches between the tank and this brace. That has to come up and sit flush where it's actually going to mount. And what's holding that up is, you can look here, that metal bar right there with the holes, that's the actual back wall of the bed. It comes down, then it hooks over for like a 90-degree angle with all the holes in there. And I'm gonna have to cut it right here, come up 3 inches, come over, and then back down, so the tank will clear and come all the way up. Wasn't looking forward to that, but hey, it's got to happen. So anyway, here's my first dilemma. So I got to figure out how I'm going to cut that nicely so it's not like a butcher job. Okay, back shortly. Okay, just to give you an update. So I had to pull the bed off. I got the tank in. Let me see that a second here. So I got the tank in, and I brought it's supposed to be up tight up in here, and when I do that, this area here is like I gotta cut like 3 inches out of this box. So I'm okay with that, but it would require me to cut like 2 inches off of this. So in order to save my cab, I've added spacers here, so this is up to 2 inches. Okay, so this is going to drop the tank down 2 inches. I can't go any further because this is my filler tube and this is the frame. And if I drop another 3/4 inch, you know, it's not going to make it. So I'm a shitty cameraman. So that's the 2 inches there. I'm gonna build a new saddle. The tank is gonna sit down that low. And here's my pathway I'm looking at. Come out here as a 90, shoot between this frame. There's enough room for that. And then that will take me into here. And let me see if we could take, so that's cool. You're looking in the gas nozzle. So then right here is where I'd be coming through with the hose, gas hose, and then to you, to here. So that's the pathway right now. So that's where I'm at, is the tank's in, tank will fit. Have to drop it down the 2 inches. Can't go any further than this because of the filler tube. And then yes, I could just come straight up out of the box just like the Dakotas did. That would be, let me back up here. This would go back on and this would come out of the bed. Right back there. Right in there somewhere. I don't want to cut a hole there. I think it'd be cooler if I can come out of here and, well, gas in the original spot and go into the cab. That would be cooler. So that's what I'm after. So I'll let you know what I'm doing. Okay, so Friday night, here's what we're gonna do. Is for this weekend, I'm gonna drop the tank. You see the spacers I put in here, the pieces of wood. So that's 2 inches. So now I have to build a bracket that drops down 2 inches. So when you raise a tank, it's gonna go against the bracket instead of up on this one here. Same thing here, because the tank has to actually be lower, 2 inches lower, in order to get underneath the cab. You can see I had to cut that part of the cab, or not the cab, but the bed out. But I am not cutting that cab, so that's where that's at. And this is something I had done. Okay, so here's the filler tube. Let's go over there and I'll show you. Okay, so filler tube's gonna stick out about this much here, so you won't see this part. All this goes down. This is for the fumes that come up and then get reclaimed, go back down. So all this will sit up inside of here. And then I'm gonna come out there, go across the frame, and then go in there. So I was at AutoZone tonight. I just didn't have the hose for this. I need a 90. It's either I'm gonna do a sharp 90, come around here, or I come out here and go this way. So this will be done this weekend, regardless however I get it done. But anyway, I got to get the filler tubes get in. Anyway, had this made, so it's kind of cool. It doesn't leak. So there's that. And that's it for now. Okay, this may be weird. Okay, so this is a floor view coming up. So here's the front cross member over here. And coming back way down here. Okay, front cross member here, and then I got this one here, and then I got this groove, and this, where's that? This groove here. These are the straps plug in, twist sideways, and then come out. So this is where the straps that hold the tank. So they're here. I'm gonna go ahead and use them. The strap will come down, and it'll go around and come back up, and it bolts onto here. So I have to pull this bolt out and extend this down, because I'm thinking at 2 inches is going to give me more. Oops, there we go. That bolt there. So I'm going to have to extend this bolt here. All right, so that's what I got to do. So move it on. Let's come back a little bit. Okay, so here's the gas tank out. And picked up some piece of metal, and this is gonna be like sitting right here, and I gotta bend it down to this part here, and then this is actually gonna be the saddle that it's gonna be resting up against. I gotta put one here, and I'll put one here. And off we go. Just a little progression here just to show you the straps. So that's how I got them fitting. Yay me. Sometimes I scare myself. I'm telling you. I don't know what to do. Really. I am a superstar. All right, so anyway, that's the straps. Now I gotta make them 2 inches extended. Okay, so I put some legs. This is a little warm still, but here's the bracket that's gonna lower the tank down to 2.5 inches. It was 2 1/4 actually. Nice and snug. Okay, so that's, they fit really nice on there. I want to show you something else here. This is fun shopping. Okay, so see white PVC, it's schedule 40. That's good for gasoline. Gasoline's fine with this. So that hose there, hard to find. I'm gonna have to special order a couple feet of that. And then this one here, that's a 3/4 gas line, and no auto parts here has it here, so I'm gonna have to special order that just to do this. But anyway, here's my 90. I'm just going to put a rubber coupler over that. There's my 90 coming out, and it's going to shoot down the frame into the cab. So instead of gasoline coming straight from the filler, I'm moving it over and pointing it to the cab. That's the way it's going to go. But yeah, played hell trying to figure this out, but sweeping 90 would have taken it like way out here, then I'd have to go on the other side of the frame. But I'm pleased with this. I had to Google to find out if PVC was going to be fine with this, but we're good there. So anyway, here's my brackets, and I'll probably weld them up tonight. Not sure. I'll let you know. Okay, so the tank is back in place. The spacers are the upper saddle. Let's call them the upper saddle now that they're there. That's the front one. And let's come here. Is that it? There it is there. Okay, so there it is. That's the second one. Okay, so because they formed to the tank, all I have to do is just raise the tank up and bring the straps around, and it'll always sit in that place. So it's no longer resting against the frame. I gotta stick in there for spacer, but the tank won't rest against the frame. I can use the original straps. I just have to extend it, and the tank's back in its original place. So tomorrow I'll go ahead and I'll just go ahead and drop the tank, and I'll weld those brackets in, and I'll call that done. Okay, here's a better shot of that back bracket if you want to see it. So it's formed around the tank. See that here? So it's not gonna rubber. I'll put a rubber in the way there so it won't rub in there. Anyway, I'm done. All right, so I got the brackets both in there, welded in and primed them up. There's one, and there's the other right there. Okay, so now it's time to put the tank up here and strap it in. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can keep this one rolling instead of a bunch of stops. Okay, so this is, I gotta get the fuel going in this hole, down this slope, take a 90, come in here, take a 90 and go here. As long as this is lower than this, I'll be okay. So as you see, I pulled the bed off. All right, so I picked up the correct hose. This is gasoline hose. It's expensive shit too. So anyway, it's gonna come out. This is 1.5 inches, so this is the big one. All right. So it's gonna tunnel through there. We can pull this off for now. There. Set this over here. Okay. So yeah, it'll tunnel in here. So I gotta cut a hole above this seam here, into that, into there, and then there'll be another one for the breather. So that's got to squeeze in the backside here. So we'll do that. So it's kind of what I'm after. That's on the outside. So this is going to go under the bed, crawl in the back, come up and go through this hose here. So on this section here, where's that? It's down here. All right, so this was the original. Put the sun on my back. All right, so this is the original here. This tube here is a breather for the tank. This I took off of the old filler tube, and I had it brazed in. So that small yellow 1 3/4 is going to go on here. It's going to channel through here along with this one. So that's where that's going. And only about this much is going to stick out of the cab right there. All right, so I'm going to try and do this live here. So here's what it looks like. So I got extra pieces to make things happen because I have a size problem. All right, so I'm going to lay this around here. And I don't know what you see, so hold on a minute. I gotta see what you see. I wonder if you can see that. All right, so I'm just gonna hold it here. Let me make it smaller. All right, so gasoline goes in this way. All right, it goes down the tube here, and then right where this frame rail is, right there, I gotta cut a hole through this this part of the cab and come out this side right here. So I gotta go through right there. That's what I gotta drill out. And I gotta come in. So I gotta come in, I gotta do a 90, come here. So not exactly sure how this is gonna work. So I got piece parts. So let me show you. All right, so let's see what this is. See if I go in here. Yep, that sounds good. Yeah. Sticker up in the cab. Let's see this here. pipe. All right, well, I had to move in because sometimes it wants to rain around here and couldn't make up its mind. So anyway, I got the hole cut. Instead of using a hole saw, which I tried, that didn't go well, so I had to break out the plasma cutter. And I had to blow a damn hole in it. So that means after I get the cab off, I'm gonna have to reinforce this structure a little bit, build a little shield over that. So anyway, there's my hole. So now let's go back to putting this thing together. And now we got the tank in place here. Blue straps just hold it up. I put the original straps, those are the ones that are hanging down right there and there. So I'm just going to figure out how I'm going to bring them back up here. But then gas, this is what I was talking about here. It's coming out and doing a 90, following the frame. And then it's going to go through here into the cab. So it's 40 PVC, schedule 40. So this is, that's how that's going to sit. So instead of coming up here and going out to top it off, it's going to go through there and come out here. So that's a little pathway. I got to figure out how I'm going to get in there yet. But hey, loving a challenge. Okay, so the tank is, that's where it's going to sit. Okay, bye. All right, so I'm going to pick it up where I left off here because I messed up on my video. So, all right, so this is where she's at. And that's how much it's going to stick out. I got you right in the sun. I'm so sorry. But that's about how much you stick out of the cab. Get back into here where it's safe. Okay, so in here is my breather tube. That's clear to run. This is going to push up here. And if you see, there's an access hole from the previous. I don't have access to it. But anyway, so I'll have access to the 90 up there. This is where it sits. Okay. So now, like I said, right here is where it's going to do a 90. And this is going to be a pretty sharp turn. And if I try to get, where's it at? This hose to try to do a freaking turn, that's going to put a lot of strain on this pipe. And so here's I've already kind of worked all this out in my head. So this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this pipe back here, and then I walk through the muffler section and I got reducers. Okay, so I got 2 reducers. So I'm going to go from this size down to 1.5 inches, which is that yellow hose. So I'm going to cut and mark right here, bring this in and tack it in. So that'll be the end of this pipe at 1.5 inches instead of the 2. Okay, so that's what I got to do is I got to reduce the size of this. And then I'm going to put this down a second. Hold on. Oh man, I don't know what you see. Okay, so I'll pick this up here, and then I'll grab you a second. Okay, okay, and then because that yellow hose is not going to make this turn, since I'm already using one of these at the outside by the tank, I'm just going to go ahead and bring this on the inside in here. Let's push this away. So this will sit. Come on, you can do it. Believe me, you can do it. This will come as a 90 here, only with the hose. Come on, fall out then. That 90 will sit right here. So it'll be the reducer, yellow hose, and then the 90, and then out, yellow hose again to the tank. So that'll keep my direction, my angle, and it'll be comfortable. I'm not bending anything or forcing anything to be here. I'll have access to the 90 from that hole above it. And that's what she's gonna do. If you have any concerns about this, is just temporary. I've got the rubber ones over on the bench. It's just I gotta weld all this. This is just when I was doing the fitting, but this is all gonna be rubber. So don't get worried about it. This is just all tacked in right now. because I'm still in the mock-up stage. So I'm gonna mark this right now. I'm gonna set you down. I'm gonna mark this and cut it, and then I'll start drilling that hole. Okay, so I'll come back later. And here's the final conclusion. Wrap this video up. Here's the saddles that I built. Okay, I bought rubber, 2-inch rubber, 1/4 inch thick, and I glued that in the straps. Okay, brand new gas tank straps. Had those come in. I've got all thread coming up here, and I threaded this. These are called riv nuts. So I got a riv nut on each one. So I've got all thread holding the tank up. The tank is fully supported. Okay. And you can see where I still got some glue. I gotta get my glue off of there. But that's the overall. The gas tank was lowered the 2 inches, and it fits underneath the bed and under the tank. And I have my distance. Let me get over here. Come on. And as you see from here, I maintain my distance here for the filler tubes. Okay, and I will be continue the pathway over to here, and then coming into the cab itself. But anyway, that's the tank fully mounted.